Rob was like the big homie Ye is your big homie, because we all know how much you love Kanye.
Man, I do love Kanye, bro. I love him like a brother, just like I love anybody else. You know what I'm saying? That's why I try to warn this idiot of the stupid stuff that he does. You know what I'm saying? But you know, people gonna do what people do. You know what I'm
People
saying?
do what they gonna do.
They're gonna do what
Man,
they're gonna do.
and in the process or in the mix of Ye or Kanye, whatever you want to call him, doing what he does, he's losing everything now.
Man, he finna call. You remember? Did you hear about how he called Charlemagne all stressed out because Kim was messing around with Pete Davidson? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, they were getting that was I don't know why Charlamagne loves talking about that kind of stuff, about Johnson sizes and all that
because
kind
he
of
down
stuff.
with them peoples. You know what I said? The next phone call Kanye West about to make is like, man, they canceled me at Balenciaga. They canceled me at Adidas. Man, Charlemagne, help me. I'm finding out the world is correct.
You found out a little bit too late. Yeah. And now this just came down. He lost his Adidas deal. Remember, he said that I could literally say anything anti-Semitic and they can't do anything about it. Well, they did.
We have breaking news. Adidas has ended its partnership with Kanye West following a recent rash of comments. It comes after West lost several other deals and partnerships, including being dropped by talent agency CAA and fashion house Balenciaga. For weeks, many have been calling on Adidas to rapper after his anti-Semitic remarks. This morning, the company announced that it will end production of Yeezy brand products. In a statement, Adidas said in part, Ye's recent comments and actions have been unacceptable, hateful, and dangerous, and they violate the company's values of diversity and inclusion.
Can you stop it for a second?
I'm Mark Brown.
Yeah.
The only message that everybody should take from this, in my opinion, is what they just said right now about how this violates the company's policy of diversity and inclusion and how we look at what's going on as hate speech. Understand that these are the statements being made. Understand that this is what's done when people see that something wrong was done. Understand that the world does not look at anti-Black racism as wrong, because none of these hoops are gone through when anybody says anything crazy like that about us. Whether you like Kanye West or whether you don't like Kanye West, pay very close attention to the fact that these hoops are not jumped through when somebody says something anti-Black, which means that when it comes to that community, when it comes to Latinos, when it comes to Asians, when it comes to white people, anti-Black hate speech is accepted because it's looked at by society as correct. That's what people need to understand and take away from all of this, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I came to that same conclusion. Like when you think about whenever there's any type of anti-Black racism that happens, right, and it catches the news and it's a big deal and everybody's talking about it and yada yada yada. Anti-Black racism is used as a political chess piece,
usually by that particular community.
Yeah, in order to gain a foothold into the Black community so that they can push whatever new policies that they want to push forward. So here's the example, right? George Floyd happens. Then you see a controlled opposition Black Lives Matter organization pop up. There's a big hoopla being made over it. And then it quickly goes from Black Lives Matter to Black LGBTQ transgender matter, Black queer matters. And it pivots into something that's about the LGBTQ community versus the overall versus overall just the Black community as a whole. You saw this as well, even with Buffalo, and you've talked about this a whole bunch of times already on your channel. Buffalo, you had this white supremacist racist who went to Buffalo for the sole purposes of shooting and killing a whole bunch of Black folks.
And understand that that's how that particular community looks at it. That particular community looks at it that if they're mentioned in a manifesto, that's a hate crime against them, and we're expendable. The very people who fund Black Lives Matter make sure to let everybody know that their translucent lives matter, but ours don't, because they get a hate crime bill to protect themselves. They get all the money from Black Lives Matter and reinvest it into their community. They got a hate crime bill from Buffalo, and they were simply mentioned in the manifesto. 11 Black people died, You know what I'm saying? And there was nothing done, not only by any other alleged coalition of people together, but by the government in New York. Eric Adams is more busy getting cruise ships for immigrants. You know what I'm saying?
But what did come out of that, once again, to the point that I was making, is that like they parlayed into something else. They started talking about ban on assault weapons. They started talking about domestic terrorism. They start talking about everything else but the anti-black racism. Anti-black racism, like I said, is just used as a stepping stone in order to get other legislation through by getting a foothold into the black community. But you don't see the lights cut out for anybody else whenever anti-black racism is being imposed onto us, whether it be any celebrity. There's been plenty of celebrities that have had meltdowns and they've survived it,
Mel
where
Gibson.
they're going on, Mel Gibson, where they're going like, anti-black racist rants, or even
Joe Rogan.
or Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, he's has a multitude of videos of him saying the N-word with a hard ER on it, and Rumble offered him $100 million deal. You didn't see any endorsements or anything like that. You didn't see the roof paving in
and
on
you saw all communities, including that community, tell us to be quiet about it.
Exactly. That
now,
it wasn't.
If you want to talk
deal.
about that history of Adidas, you know what I'm saying? One could say, I mean, that happened so long ago, and it wasn't even the United States that did it. What are you whining about? I mean, that's what they say. That's what they say to us, you know what I'm saying, about slavery. That's what they say to us about Jim Crow. Do you realize that, like, that's how delusional these non-melanated groups of people are? They just literally delete out entire parts of history. They delete out sundown towns. They delete out Jim Crow. They delete out all of that and immediately knee-jerk to slavery. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, you see it happen all the time, and it is a continuous thing, but like now when you look at the Kanye situation, he says whatever he says about Jewish people, right, and the Jewish media and things of that nature. There's nothing political happening in terms of political gain and how it's being spun. What you see with him is they're cutting the lights off. That's it. You lost this endorsement, you lose that endorsement. Balenciaga, Adidas, Gap, you ACC or CA, the talent agency, dropped over there. All whatever studios that you had booked. I think he had SoFi Stadium that's out here in LA. He had 4 shows booked, dropped everything. The whole thing is caving in on him. The whole bottom just collapsed on him, right?
So,
and there's no political spin. This has nothing to do with any type of legislation. We're not going to turn this into, assault rifles and things like that. And we're not going to spin this into this is why the Jewish community needs to get on board with the Green New Deal. Like this that's not what happens now. But when we're talking about black folks, George Floyd gets killed or whatever the case. Ahmaud Arbery, you take your pick. Whoever.
You should refer to us as what we are, cousin Pookies.
Yeah, cousin Pookie gets killed, right?
That's what that community paid the Democrats to call us. Is cousin Pookies. You know what I'm saying?
So we cousin Pookies and all that. The moment that something happens to us, and like I was saying, and it becomes big news, it goes from Ahmaud Arbery to environmental racism, and that's why we got to get the Green New Deal passed. You get what I'm saying? It always turns into some other type of foolishness. But
hey, I got a question.
If
Kanye West had all those billions of dollars in Bitcoin or in Ethereum, would Chase have been able to shut down his transaction routes like that?
No.
So it seems like the actual scam is fiat currency, because now you're looking at somebody that is a billionaire, but their money just turned into toilet paper.
Like that. That's something else that I was thinking of too. Because I guess I've never looked this up to confirm it, but I guess Kanye West is considered the richest black man in American history. I guess, in terms of billionaire status.
He got more money than Mason Musa, huh?
Yeah. Well, we're not world history, but in American history. But nonetheless, I'm curious as to seeing what his net worth is now, with him being whatever, 2 billion or 3 billion, I don't know, versus what it's going to be 6 months from now, and how fast all that comes crashing down. And that's the problem when you don't have something that Dame Dash used to always preach heavily: real ownership. Kanye doesn't have real genuine ownership over the things that he's doing. Everything is contingent upon partnerships, and partnerships are cool, right? They're necessary when you don't have the things that you need, but at a certain point you got to start parlaying those partnerships into building up your own infrastructure to where you don't need them in. He didn't do that, you know, at least he doesn't appear to have really done that. So now everything's bottoming out. You lost Balenciaga, lost Adidas, you lose Gap.
I heard that Balenciaga didn't pay him $1. All the stuff that he did as far as working with Balenciaga, he did all of that for free.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was watching Amazing Lucas live stream, and he did this. There's this interview with this guy that Kanye West did, and Kanye West actually, you know, he verbalized that himself. He said, "I didn't get paid anything in that relationship with Balenciaga." So how do you stop doing business with somebody that made zero transaction income from you in the first place?
That's crazy. He didn't. So whatever stuff that he was selling, like what they just took, what he just wanted the, because I remember on the
I
Drink
don't think
Champs, he was talking about how he wanted the knowledge, right? He was talking, I don't know if you watched the whole Drink Champs interview, like 3 hours long. I think 3 hours and 30 minutes long. But he talked about like how knowledge is so much more important than other things. And it's true. Like, you know, if you have knowledge, then you can achieve whatever you're trying to achieve, right? But is that what he was trying to do? Like, I don't get it, because he was selling product with them. So he didn't make no money.
He didn't make no money. He didn't take any money on that deal, according to him, because everybody was guessing, and Lucas even put up a poll. People were guessing like as low as $1 million. And so the guy kept naming off figures. He first named off $1 million. Kanye was like lower. Then he said 500,000. Then he said lower. And then he revealed that he didn't get anything on it. But like, that's that.
Come on, man.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, people out here calling him a genius. I'm saying
that's not a genius move to me, man. We not selling product with my name and logo and stuff on it, and I just want the knowledge on how to. No. I need some dollars too. I don't just need the knowledge. You know what I mean? That's crazy. He didn't make any money. What?
Kim Kardashian came out and said that she stands with them people.
I seen that. Oh my God, your own baby mama turned her back on you. And you know what was the craziest thing about that with Kim Kardashian, you know, turning her back on Kanye? Nobody was asking her. Nobody asked her about her position and her stance on that.
She's the only one that didn't get any pressure put on her at all. Nobody asked her for a statement or anything. She just came out. I'm gonna clear the air on this real quick, so don't nobody bother me.
Nobody was asking you for a statement or anything like that. And she just turns around and throws him under the bus. So I mean,
but that's what happens when you that's what happens when you aspire to put yourself around people for cosmetic appearances and not for interests. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing as Kanye West. Like, you're doing something for the knowledge and all this weird stuff, bro. Like, but this is what I'm saying. So, like, this is the thing, right? I'm actually reevaluating whether I agree with Kanye West being a genius or not. And the reason why
never agreed that you've never believed that. You've been very consistent with that.
Well, I actually mathematically disagree. And the reason why I say I mathematically disagree is because a genius is somebody that has a rare, abnormally high intelligence quotient, right? Now, if Kanye West's intelligence quotient is rarely high for the respective group of people that he's a part of, it's obvious why we keep having the outcomes that we have. If he is actually indeed a genius among his peers, that shows why his outcome that he has is very similar to the outcome that we see with most people, many athletes, many just people that work at regular jobs. Because if he is significantly smarter, which in many cases significantly higher, you know, intelligence come with a significantly higher ability to make money, which is consistent because he's a billionaire. But now he's meeting the same.
For now, he's a billionaire for now, you know.
For now. A billionaire with paper. He don't have no gold bars. He don't have no gold mines. He don't have no diamond mines. Definitely don't have any cryptocurrency because that's a scam. You know what I'm saying?
That's a scam. You know, crypto is a scam. I always have to make sure for the record that we don't believe it's a scam. We're just laughing at the people that do say that. For the record, cryptocurrency is a scam.
I want somebody to show me how fiat currency is not a scam when you have $1 billion and you can't do nothing with it.
Yeah. He got $1 billion, or maybe a little bit more, 2 billion. And just like that, it's going to go from $1 billion to like 100 million as far as net worth is concerned, because all your money is tied up into partnerships with other people.
Do you hear how much he worships Elon Musk?
Yeah, he worships Elon Musk like a god. That's really weird to me. A matter of fact, I just came across a clip where he was saying, where he? Oh, it was the Pierce Morgan clip where he was saying like, why isn't I think he said, why isn't Joe Biden? I was gonna say Joe Budden. Why isn't Joe Biden listening to Elon Musk? Joe Budden should be listening to Elon Musk. Why isn't Joe Budden listening to Elon Musk? That's so effing stupid. You know, did you see that where he was saying that about Joe Biden?
Yeah, I seen that.
It's just like, I don't listen to Elon Musk for what? Like, I don't know why he worships Elon Musk the way that he does. Because we've talked, we talked about Elon. Was it one of our last one-off videos, or was it on a live stream where we talked about Elon Musk?
I think it was.
Not being as smart as everybody thinks he is. I'm not saying that Elon Musk is a dummy or he's unintelligent. That's not what I'm saying. But, you know, he has the money to pay all the smart people, you know, to get his ideas off the ground. And then it makes him look good when he talks about what the actual smart people told him. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But he, in and of himself, he comes up with the initial idea. That's it. The initial idea, got it. Then I take my money and pay the actual high IQ, intelligent people, technical, scientific people to make this stuff or to come up with this stuff and then explain how it works to me. So I find it fascinating when people, because Kanye's not the only one that worships Elon Musk, but like somebody in a position like Kanye, for him to worship Elon Musk the way that he does, it's just weird to me. Also, given the fact that Kanye doesn't seem to really worship or respect anybody, honestly, but he holds up, of all people, Elon Musk to like
Donald Trump
status.
And Donald Trump. It goes with the demographic of people that he's trying to please. That's why you got white supremacist groups in California hanging these crazy signs off the freeway talking about Kanye was right, beep twice if you agree with Kanye. That is like the PewDiePie audience, you know what I'm saying? Those Chad gamers, you know what I'm saying? Peyton Gendron type crowd. That is who Kanye West wants to appeal to. That's who he's making music for. You know what I'm saying? That's what his market is for. You know what I mean? He makes them school shooter shoes. You ever seen them ugly Crocs that he makes? Look like,
those are trash. I don't like those.
Yeah, I mean, you could just see somebody walking up in the school with an AR-15 wearing a pair of those, eyes beating all over the back of their head, trying to mow down the first thing that they see. Like that is Kanye's, you know what I'm saying? Little Ethan Cromley audience. You know what I mean? Like
the Nike Air shooters, you know?
Yeah. It's just crazy. What do you think about that? About that whole situation with that sign that they put down? And because, see, I knew that they were going to do this, because what they did was, the way that they start putting pressure on Adidas was they brought back the history of how Adidas came to be. Because, you know, a lot of these companies got histories that date back to World War II, like Ford.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I actually just found out about Adidas, actually. But go ahead.
Yeah. No, so they were bringing that up because, see, I think that Kanye actually brought this on himself. I don't know if anybody would have really, I'm sure they would have put pressure on him, but it may not have been as much pressure had he not, on that Drink Champs interview, said, I can say whatever I want to at Adidas and Adidas ain't going to do nothing. You said that specifically about a company that's rooted in Nazism. And they want to get away from that image as much as possible. So now you got people like Dr. Rashad Ritchie and all of these liberals talking about, you know, maybe the reason why Adidas was associated with Kanye in the first place is because of their deep ties to Nazism and this, that, and
see,
you know what I'm saying?
The moment people start saying stuff like that, now Adidas is like, look, it's over. It's
right.
over.
And if it wasn't over after that, it's definitely over after that Goyim Defense League put that sign up on the freeway in LA telling people to beep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, as far as that, those signs go, I mean, I don't have much on that, man. It's just everybody. I feel like, because there's nothing for them to gain by that. I feel like them doing that, being that they are, you know, white supremacists, you know, that whole point of doing that is to make Kanye look bad and to make him look
absolutely
loose. That was the whole
Absolutely.
point. It was to make
Yeah.
them look bad and to make them look worse because there's nothing to gain. They didn't gain followerships and number. You don't get anything from that. You're just being stupid in public, and it makes Kanye look bad. And that was the whole point of them doing that. You know,
and they understand the psychology of a broken person like Kanye. They understand that if they just give him some kind of affirmation, or if they just give him some kind of attention, that, you know, like that's like an opiate for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, as much as Kanye loves white males, did you see that tweet that he put up about white men having the least platform for freedom of speech?
I didn't see him put a tweet up about it 'cause I don't follow him on Twitter, but
Or it was in the Piers Morgan interview. My bad.
Yeah.
The
Pierce Morgan interview. Pierce Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that there. Yeah.
So in that community, that particular community has for a very long time tried to make us the face of anti-Semitism. You know what I'm saying? I find it fascinating that people just really don't notice the proximity that they always have, as far as how they hijacked the civil rights movement, how they hijacked Black Lives Matter, how they really hijacked the Democratic Party. There's a really big problem with them in the Democratic Party that's not even really allowed to be discussed on a public platform.
Well, nothing with them is allowed to be discussed in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And that's the thing that's crazy. It's
Right.
like we talked about before, like I think it was on a live stream that we talked about, which is every Thursday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this channel. Make sure
And
you
there won't be no replay views on it.
There won't be any replay views on it because it goes immediately on private right afterwards. And you only can watch it if you're on Patreon. So, but with that though, what I was saying is when it comes to them, yeah, they're the only people that are above any type of critique. A perfect example, right? If you say, man, black people dominate the NBA as far as players are concerned. Black folks, they dominate the NBA. They pretty much run the show. You over there, you know, as far as like athletes are concerned. There's nothing racist about that. It's an observation based off of what's clearly true. If you just have eyes, you know, you look and you watch and go, yeah, they're pretty much all the players on the court. And when you're talking about greatest of all time, they make up 99% of all of the greatest NBA players of all time. So it makes sense. What's racist about that? Nothing. But if you say these folks, you know, that you can't say, nobody's supposed to ever talk about, they run the entertainment industry. Whoa, that's you're talking crazy now. You calm that down. That's anti-Semitic. And it's just like, why? Especially if it's something that's very well documented. And it's still provable till this day, like beyond a shadow of a doubt. Like there's nothing. It's not an argument over who runs it. It's not an argument. There's nothing to discuss. But you can't say what's obvious when it comes to them, and that's what's why. And you know, one of the reasons that you can't do that, right? There's a lot of rabbit hole you can go down with that. But one that I came across, and it was really on another channel where I heard them discuss this. I believe it was Days of Noah. I've been referring to them a lot lately. But it's on
Rev
the Days
2
of
Niners.
Yeah, the Rev 2 Niners. But one of the things that community wants to be able to do is to continue to be able to play both sides when it comes to, yeah, we run, own, and control everything in this like media space. But we also want to still be victims too, right? Where we can use the whole anti-Semitic thing. We're victims. Oh, look how everybody still hates us, and you. So if you keep bringing up this notion of, oh, they have so much. What are the stereotypes around them, right? They own the banks. They have so much money. They're all rich. They run media and entertainment. So what does that mean? They're billionaires. That means they're doing. Not all of them are billionaires, but you get what I'm saying. That means that they, as a community, are doing just fine. They're good. They're not on any way, shape, form, or fashion on a level of the black community. They're not struggling. They're not hurt. They're doing fine. But if they're doing fine, and the image of them is that they control all this stuff that we see around us concerning media, and that so many of them are rich and they control the banks, well, then people typically tend not to have sympathy for other people who are well off. You get what I'm saying? There's no sympathy to be had toward you. So if you start saying things like, oh, we're being treated unfairly in this community, y'all rich, get out of here. Like, you know, like nobody has like real sympathy for that. So that aspect, the success aspect, that the successful aspect of that community is something that always has to be dumbed down in order to elevate whatever type of anti-Semitic thing that may happen. And you see how the opposite is true. The opposite is concerning black folks, because despite the fact that you have all these we have like millionaire basketball athletes and millionaire rappers, it's still very much so understood that the black community as a whole is down bad, right? And that's what the unspeakables want in their community, that regardless of whatever success that we have, we want y'all to still acknowledge us as being down bad, even though for them that's not the case. It's the case for us. It's the case, and that's statistically proven across the board when we're talking about racial wealth gap and things of that nature. That is not the case for them, but they still want to be able to play that card. They want to be able to play the victim card for whatever that victim card is worth to them.